Today we're going to be looking at how you can play mainstream games using a single switch. Lots of games require multiple button presses, analog sticks, possibly mouse and keyboard. If using all of these buttons and sticks is difficult, there can still be a way to play alongside a friend. So we're going to be looking at an external switch which will act as one of the controls, so you can play alongside a friend cooperatively if holding onto the controller or using all of the buttons at once is difficult. So first of all, we're going to have a look at Rainbow Six Siege on PC. Frankie's going to be using mouse and keyboard, and I'm going to be using a spec switch which will be acting as the shoot button. So the switch that we're using is a spec switch which is plugged into a Don Johnston. The Don Johnston switch interface emulates keyboard presses, and we have to map the shoot button to act as one of the buttons on the Don Johnston. So in this instance we're using left click on the mouse to act as shoot. I'll be using this spec switch as a head switch. So now we're going to be playing WipeOut on the PS4. I'll be using an ultralight switch with my hand for the accelerate button, and Frankie's going to be using the controller for the rest of the controls. To get this setup working, we're using a crosshair adapter and a Don Johnston switch interface. Now we're going to use the same setup that we just used for WipeOut for Crash Bandicoot on PS4, and the ultralight switch now will be acting as jump. So now we're going to have a look at FIFA on Xbox One. We're using a switch adapted Xbox One controller, which Frankie's using for most of the controls, and then I have a shoot button by my foot. We're using a buddy button for this. Here we're using a switch adapted Xbox One controller that we modified here at SpecialEffect. The switch plugs into the controller and acts as either the shoot or pass button. So hopefully this video has given you some ideas how you can play cooperatively with a friend. In this video we focused on using one external switch, but you can have as many switches as you can press, using a variety of different switches and switch interfaces. If there's anything that we can do to help, then please do get in touch.